Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed from Erin Made Makes, and welcome to my card making class. So today we're going to make a super cute fun fold card that has a diamond shape. And the best part about it is you don't need anything more than your paper trimmer and a bone folder, plus the papers. So let's get started. So this is the super cute card that we're going to be making today. So this is the diamond part of the diamond fold. And all the measurements that are for this card are going to be down in the information section. So make sure you check that out. The only thing I haven't put is what the dimensions are for the square, but I'll give them to you in the video. So it is super cute. Just look how adorable this is. It folds up and then it comes out. Look how fun this is. This is not a new design. This has been around, but I just thought this was a really fun fold that we all can enjoy. So let's get started with how to build the base of this card. And then you get to use all your fun papers. And today I'm using the super cute papers from Dare to Be Artsy. So these are the adorable North Pole holiday papers that have the Yetis, the penguins, the presents, and also all of the pattern papers that match. And those are the pieces I've used. And we're going to build 2 different colors of cards. So the first thing you're going to start off with is you're going to need a 4-inch by 12-inch sheet of paper, right? You need a bone folder, ta-da, and then you need your paper trimmer. And I love this. I just got to do a little shout out. So this is an amazing little paper trimmer holder thing that I have, and it's sitting right here, and I can put my paper trimmer in, and it saves me a ton of space on my desk, so I don't feel like I've got a lot of clutter because it goes vertical. So if you are interested in this, this is from Make It by Marco, and it is absolutely adorable. So, and I love it. It's got a little heart at the bottom, and it's my favorite color, teal. Okay, so let's get into how to do this. So I use my paper trimmer for just about every type of card. And hello, everybody who's gotten on. So if I'm doing any kind of scoring marks or anything like that, I use my paper trimmer and then just whatever bone folder you happen to have. So the measurements are simple: 2, 4, 8, 10. That's it. So you're going to go for 2, make a mark. So score it at 2, jump to 4. Everything is even. So we've got 12 inches of paper by 4 inches tall. Measurements are in the information section. Now, you can skip all the way over and do 8 and 10, or just flip it over and do 2 and 4 again. It's the same measurement, because if you think 2 inches back is going to give you 10, right? 4 inches back is going to give you your 8. So 12 minus 4 is 8. So there it is, 2, 4, 8, 10. So let's quickly fold this. And whenever I do any of these folds, I always fold back and forth. Use your bone folder. I do the forward side, and I'm going to do all the forwards. And I also fold on the back side. It just gives your paper a little bit more. It's the best way to describe it. So far, so easy, right? Not too bad. So 2, 4, 8, 10. Now I'm going to flip over, and I don't need the bone folder for this, but I'm just giving the paper a new memory, because it wants to try and stay closed. So if you fold it on both sides, it gives it a new memory of folding along those lines. Easy. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our paper trimmer, and we're just going to mark it at 6. So we're going to go to 6. So there really is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But at 6, we're just going to do a tiny little tick just as a marker. That's it. Just a tiny little tick, just so I can see where the 6-inch mark is. Do not score all the way across, because this is the big square part. This makes, flip this over, it's making this. And if we score it all the way down, we're going to miss our big square in the middle, or the diamond in the middle. This is the diamond part of the diamond. Okay. So now that we have that in there, we are going to score from 6 and go to 10 and on a diagonal. And I'm going to show you a little cheat sheet here in a second so you guys can see. So I'm going to find my little score mark. I'm going to go from 6 to 10. And I score on the diagonal, 6 to 10, just like that, 6 to 10. I flip it, and I go now from 10 to 6. So I'm making a giant X in the middle. There we go. And score along there. Make sure, oops, don't wiggle. There we go. And if you have, oops, it wiggled on me. If you have a scoring tool, if you've got a scoring board, it totally works. Now I'm just going to lift this off to the side so you guys can see this. These are all the markings. Okay, so we just did this diagonal and this diagonal, right? And then here's the first diamond. We did the score for the 8, we did the score for the 10, and now we did the big 6 or the big X right there. Now we're going to go over to this side, keep this panel. This is our 6-inch mark. We're going to score from 6 to 2 and then 2 to 6 and do the other X. And if you're like, what the crap did she just say? That's the beautiful thing about this video is you're going to be able to go back and rewatch and be able to see how to do this because it's not going anywhere. It'll stay live. It'll stay sitting in Facebook and YouTube forever, as long as, you know, the sites don't come down like it did before. So, but, you know, I put these things in multiple places so we don't lose them. So now we have all of our score marks, and that's it for that. Oops, I'm going to put it back. Give myself some platform so I don't have enough room. Place it back in my little holder, and then off on the side it goes. Plenty of room. So just to recap on all the score marks we did and all the markings. We did a score. Well, first, 12 inches by 4 inch. We scored at 2, we scored at 4, we scored at 8, and we scored at 10. We then put a little mark at 6, so we know where 6 was. If you want to use a pencil, you can use a pencil, but I just used my little score blade, and so that way I didn't see it. We then went from 6 to 10 and made this diagonal. So right here, this diagonal right here. We then went from 10 to 6, that diagonal, to make this X. So there's an X right here. And then we did the same thing on the other side, 6 to 2, and then 2 to 6 to make this X right here. So there we go. Now you're just going to start folding on those diagonals. And again, just like before, I'm going to do them both directions. So first I start with my paper facing this way, and I fold both those diagonals, and then I fold both these diagonals. There we go. Lots of folding. There we go. And then I flip it over and I go the back side. Some people are like, well, why do you do them all? Like, because it makes it easier when the card starts folding. It gives the paper its memory. And if you want to get in with your bone folder and really give it a nice crease, by all means, it is up to you. So just kind of fold. And then you'll start seeing everything start coming to place. In person, you're going to see all of your score marks. You can see them pretty good here. There's a nice big diamond in the middle. Excuse me, a little tickle in my throat. And then you're good. All right, so decide which side you want to have as being your upside. It doesn't matter. If you use a cardstock, and I would suggest, just as a heads up, I would suggest using a decent weight cardstock. Do something that's got a little bit of some oomph to it, nothing too super thin. You can use pattern paper, you can use cardstock, you could use white paper, just make sure it's 12 inches. So an 8.5 by 11 is not going to cut it for this particular card. And best part, it's still an A2 size when it's all folded up. So fits in those envelopes. All right. Sorry, I got a tickle on my throat. I got something. My son's eating popcorn off to the side here, and I think I'm imagining that I've got a popcorn kernel caught on my throat, even though I don't. So it's just kind of funny. Excuse me again. I know that was really loud. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to use this side because it's got the pattern paper on the front. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab from right here. This is the 8 and this is the 4. And I'm going to pull in and then tuck to the side. And it pulls right in to this right here. And then I'm going to come in and really give these seams and try to tell it, like, remember this shape here, right? Because then now as I open and close, it's going to want to do that again. And there is that diamond fold card. Look how cool that is. Isn't that fun? I absolutely love that. So just to show you again how to close it, once you have all your scorings, to put your fingers at 8 and 4 and push in and find that diamond. Okay. And then tuck those underneath. And that's how you get the diamond. Now, the best part about this is that you could have your card open this way, or you can rotate your card and you can have it open this way. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use a rotation where they're all this direction. So we're going to open it this direction just because that's how I cut all my papers. So it is not going to make sense for these side paper. All my other papers, it wouldn't matter, truthfully. But these two side papers right here, I cut to have it open this way. So really fun. And there it is, just like that. So let's start assembling it. So when you are ready to put your pieces on, you need 4 squares. So I have all my bits. I use this is another little container from Make It by Marco. And it's awesome because it's got a lid, but I use it to gather all my pieces that I'm using for my cards. So it keeps everything really nice and together. So all my little bits are in there. And as always, again, all supply links are down below. So I have my two pieces right here. Okay. I'm going to have my big square in the background, and this one I cut from the pattern paper. So it's like they're in, the snow in Wonderland. I have my die cut element. Now my die cut element came from one of the pattern papers. So there's these really, really cute paper sets that comes from Dare to Be Artsy. Look at all these cutie penguins. And there is a die set that matches. So I cut that penguin, and that penguin, which is this guy, this guy, and this guy. And so that's where I put these two little guys right here. And that's where I put the big one. So this guy right here, no, this one right here, where the two of them are together, are going on my card. So they're super, super cute. But what if you don't want to get the pattern paper, but you really love it? They also have, these are all by Dare to Be Artsy. They also have the matching stamp set. So if you run out of paper, you can buy the stamps and you can still stamp and then color it in like normal. And it tells you on the back, like here's the dies. And on the back side of this, it tells you what pattern paper coordinates with it. It's really, really cute. And it's tons of fun. Okay. So that's where I got all my bits from. And then all the pattern papers came from, so here's the presents that I'm using. And here's all the pattern papers that I'm using here too. So they're really, really sweet pattern papers. And they're fun. I love the coolness of it. And I'm going kind of a Christmassy vibe with it. But on here, you also have sliding by to say hi. Hope you have an ice birthday. So it can go both winter or birthday. Doing my happy dance for you. Oops, I slipped and forgot your birthday. Like it's all kind of cute things. Happy holidays, all from us. There's lots of things. This one says waddle. So adorable stamp sets. So you have your two strips on the side. And I cut these to be one. I'm trying to remember. I cut them all earlier and I forgot. I'm sorry. So this one, it's 4 inches tall. So it's 3 3/4 tall. And then I cut it to be, 1 3/4 inches wide. And so I picked the Yeti just as something fun. But on this card, I picked the penguin paper and put it on the side. So it's just adorable. It's kind of cute. All right. So now you've got your sides. You have your inside. You then need a few pieces to cut out. So you need a few more squares, and I've already done the cutting, so I just wanted to show you, but I'm going to show you how to cut. You need 1, 2, 3 more squares besides the center square, and that's going to fill up here, 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 and here. Beautiful thing is it's all triangles. So once you have your square cut, and this one is a little bit of a weird dimension. These ones are, and I have to pull out my ruler to show you. It's not, here we go. So this is how I did it when I was measuring. It's not 3. It's not 2 3/4. It's another 1/8 down. So that would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. I think that's what it's called, 5/8. So it's 2 5/8 squared. 2 5/8. All right. So you need 3 of those. One of them, you are just going to cut into triangles. And I'm going to show you how to cut the triangles in a minute. Whoops, that's my son. So one, you just cut straight in half as a triangle, and those are the pieces, and I'm going to put those here. The other one, you take a triangle that you already have, and again, I'm going to show you how to do this, and you cut that into further triangles. So that we're going to use this paper right here for that. So let me show you how to cut. So I'm just going to use a cardstock. I chose to use another color for this and went for gray. Let me move this out of the way. So once you've cut your square, same size square for all the pieces, square for this. So let me go back to this one. Same size square for this square and all of these triangles, identical size. I think I'm going to go back and put the measurement on there so you guys don't have to remember. The first thing you have to do is you cut your triangles. So you just take your square, line it up. Here, let me get all this mess out of the way. And I'm centered. There we go. That's better. Put this in the center. There we go. And then cut. And that's how you get your first 2 triangles. Whichever triangles you need, right? And you can make it in whatever combination you want. To get the smaller triangles, take one triangle, line it up against the bottom of your paper trimmer, line the peak up right in the center, and then cut that in half. So you just went boop, and then do that for the other one. Line it in the center, put the peak at the top, and then slice that in half. And that's how you get the small triangles. So one square gives you 2 big triangles or 4 small triangles. And so if you're mass producing this or doing a ton, sorry about that. I just got to give you a side note on this. So my son is still not back in school after the accident. For those that have not seen what's going on, and I'm talking about my son's accident, he was riding his bike to school and got hit by a truck on the way to school. in the hospital for a week, but we are recovering. I have a whole story. So if you're interested in watching what the whole story is, you can check out it. It's on my YouTube and on my Facebook, Erin Reed Makes. And it says, I got hit by a truck, but survived. And so the school, even though they're sending a teacher back to the house or to our house every day and giving us, she's doing like an hour of tutorials and filling in, then he has a little bit of homework, and he can't go back to school until all of his wounds have healed for sanitary reasons and things like that. But the school still calls me and says, your child's been absent today. Well, no kidding. I know he's absent. It's just, and there it is again. So anyway, just kind of funny little things. And the school's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. One of those oddball things. All right. So then it's just a matter of putting it all together. So I'm going to start with the center one, and I'm just using my tape runner for all of this. So here we have this, and it goes, sorry, it was like suctioning to the table. So this goes right in the center, and I picked cardstocks that really matched well with the paper lines. So then I'm going to come in and do this one. Here we go. Look how cute that is. And I need to make sure, so I had to be careful, and I probably did add a little bit, but I want to make sure I don't add adhesive if it comes off of the triangle. So when this closes, it won't stick. So it's okay if you go off of your square, off of your diamond, because it'll just open up and it still fits within the range. I wouldn't go upside this direction of the diamond, but you can definitely go sideways on your diamond and you're totally fine. So just as a heads up on that, you can go outside of the space sideways. Now I'm going to put the papers on the sides. It's really easy. There we go. Kudos to you if you figured out what the ringtone was on my phone. I'm sorry, I forgot to silence it before we got started. Whoops, sticking to me. And then I'm going to do the big triangles. I love pattern papers that are double-sided because it gives me so many options about which direction to put the paper, which side I want to put it on. Do I want to have, this side or that side? It gives me a lot more room to groove on my project. So look how cute that is already. And then I'm going to do the pattern paper closest to here, and that way it gives it a break, kind of a break. You could leave it blank. You could leave a card just like this. There's nothing wrong with leaving it like that. You don't have to cut out all the bits because these kind of hide, right? But if you want to have some more colors, you definitely can. So see just the options here, right? Plenty of options about how many pieces you want to stick on your cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do it just to show you. You could also just do a couple. You don't have to do all of them. So let's put this one here. You'd also just go with white. You could go with craft. Maybe I'll just do these ones. And then what I'm going to do, because you guys are probably getting sick of me adding tape to pieces of paper and sticking it to a card. This is pretty monotonous. You guys get the idea of how I'm doing it. I will take a picture of all of these and I will put them in my community page. So if you head over to my YouTube channel, Erin Reed Makes, and the links are down below, and links to go to Dare to Be Artsy's Facebook page and YouTube are also down in the information section, along with links for all the supplies that we're using today. So if you go to the community page, I will have the completed pictures posted in a few days. So people always ask, super cute card, Erin, but where do you write the information? Where do you write the to and from? Where do you write the sentiments? Where do you write the information of what you're going to put on the card? Well, you got the whole backside. Ta-da! So you can write definitely in here, in here. You could even go in and you could add pattern papers. There's nothing to stop you from filling in the back. But what I will say is if you fill in the back in any way, shape, or form, it's going to make the folding of this just a little bit more bulky. And it's going to create your card to be just a little bit thicker because you're adding more layers. So just be cautious of that. And so that's how super cute these are. If you missed earlier on how to do all the scoring and how to do all the measurements and where to cut where and where to score where, measurements are down in the information section. You can always rewatch the video. But just to recap, 2, 4, 8, 10, score down straight on a 12-inch sheet of paper that's 4 inches tall. Diagonal from 2 to 6, so make a little marking at 6, and then from 6 to 2, making an X, same thing, 6 to 10, and then back 10 to 6 to make another X. Fold everything, and then it folds up. Super cute. Very easy. So these were the 2 little cutie cards I made. Look how adorable. All the papers are from Dare to Be Artsy. And I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish. And I've been playing around with like adding a stamp sentiment. And I did pull out this one. And this one says, sliding by to say hi. And I think I was going to put this one maybe on here because they're on ice. So I'll finish that after because it's just a stamp and a little sentiment, or maybe putting a little something down here. I haven't quite decided. I have to play around with that. And I've kind of gone back and forth and whatever. So super adorable diamond fun fold cards. They almost, in some ways, it's funny as they lift up like this. Sorry, I kind of stuttered there a little bit. They almost look like little X-wings. So Morgan, oh, my son doesn't have any. Like from Star Wars, don't they look like the little TIE fighters or X-wings or like the shooting? I forget which one they are, but it looks kind of like that as it looks like this. Anybody think so? So what do you think? Which one does it look like? I'm showing my son. Is it an X-wing or a TIE fighter? TIE fighter. He says it's a TIE fighter. So doesn't it look like a little TIE fighter? But I just think they're so much fun. They're absolutely cute. And just to show you, this is what an A2 card size is, and it fits no problem. So it fits in a regular A2 size envelope, which makes the card even so much more fun. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Links are all down below where you can get your supplies for the papers, for the Dare to Be Artsy stamps and dies, paper trim makeup by Marco, all the supplies I used today. Head to my website. And if you're watching from Dare to Be Artsy, I'd love if you would jump over to Erin Reed Makes. And if you're Erin Reed Makes, head over and check out Dare to Be Artsy. We'd love to have you check out both sites. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to stay safe, especially right now. And please don't forget to just create. Bye, everybody.